Okay, guys, welcome to the Information Hub. I'm so excited today because I'm helping people, I'm changing lives. If you're wondering who I am, you haven't seen my face before, my name is Priscilla Kuma. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have come to my channel, from all my friends that I've joined them on their channel. I am a registered nurse, originally come from Ghana. I live in the US. You all know I'm always saying I live in New York State. I work here as a registered nurse. I had my education in Ghana. I am a lead consultant at USRN Pathway Consult. We literally hold your hands and walk you through the process to be able to work in the US. And for some time now, we've had issues about how people can work in the US. People come in and say, I'm a psychiatric nurse, I'm a midwife, and this and that, and I cannot work in the US. Anyway, there is a pathway for you. And you know, I always bring you evidence. I always bring you a live person. And today I have another psychiatric nurse on my channel. Some are very familiar with the word mental health nurse. So she's a mental health nurse, and she's schooled in Ghana, and she lives in America, and she's working here. So it's possible. No matter where you're watching from, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Kenya, Asia, you can bring your education here. But the right channel where you have to pass is where the problem is, and how your courses are analyzed is where the problem is. So Linda, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Kindly introduce yourself to my viewers.
Hi, everyone. My name is Linda. My surname is Nyako. So I'm currently practicing as a registered nurse in the United States. I'm in Virginia currently, and I schooled in Ghana, like she told you. That's everything she said is true. I'm here with my family, my husband, my kids, and I work as a registered nurse. That's all I can say.
Nice. I'm so happy and good. This conversation is going to be so interesting. So please make sure you watch it to the end. Share this with other people. So Linda, how many years have you been in America?
I've been in America close to 9 years now.
Okay, and you came through your husband. You came with a spousal visa like I did, correct?
Yes, that did.
Okay. So how long did it take you to find out that you can work in the US with your Ghana education?
Oh my God, it took me a while. So, it took me a while. I think when I got here, it was a bit of, everything. You know, you are new and you find yourself, at the mercy of people that you think have the needed information for you to, do what you have to do. So I listened to everybody and I tried and it didn't work. But unfortunately for me, all the people around me, they schooled in America, so there was no way they could give me the needed info. So all I could hear, or all I kept hearing, was, you need to go back to school. You know, you need to go back to school. And I knew I had the education. I practiced in Ghana for 5 years. You know, I had a skill. So I didn't think going back to school was my thing. I knew Ghana is part of an international nursing community. So if I'm able to get my staff together, that was not going to be a big deal. But that's the how. The how was where I was struggling with. So it took me about 4 years. Yes.
It took me 2 years and I thought I had it bad. I didn't know you had it first.
It took me 4 years. Yeah.
Jeez, there's no information on there from people who have schooled in Ghana, Nigeria, for you to even look on. That is one of the main reasons why I'm on this YouTube channel trying to help my fellow Ghanaians and fellow Africans.
Right.
And one of the reasons why this consult came to be. Wow, 4 years. So where did you start from after the 4th year, finding out that I can do it? Where did you start from? What did you do first? And
okay. So I'm in Virginia, so I had to call my state. Because if you want to practice, you call your state and then you ask about what you need to do, because you ask about being a nurse from a foreign country, what are the requirements, and they will tell you what they need. So I have to go through a credential evaluation, CGSNF, for short. And then after evaluating my staff, they said, I do not qualify. You know, so my state, when they finished evaluation, they definitely send your staff to your state. And then your state will determine if you qualify to take the NCLEX. The NCLEX is the deal. But I did not. They told me I did not qualify. So, it was very devastating. And then I tried California as well. It also didn't work. And the last one that I did, I tried Arizona because, I mean, that's the advantage. We are in the United States and we have 50 states.
Yeah.
So if one state doesn't work, you try the other.
Mm-hmm.
So with all the back and forth, I happened to meet a sister by God's grace. I think it wasn't by chance because I had been wondering for 2 years. So I met this lady and I said, I want to take my NCLEX, but it looks like I'm not making any progress. I will buy all my books. I mean, I register with this credential evaluation like everybody does. But then when it gets to the board, I'm denied the opportunity to write. So she said, I think I know your problem, and I said, okay, let's get down on it. And then she told me that when your school finish everything, when they tell you about the academic breakdown, now mind you, you need your transcript. Ghana, we are very familiar with the transcript. That's what we take. We transcript to our schools and, I mean, continuing education and everything. But in America, they look at your academic breakdown. I said I did general honors, and I said I did what do you call it, med surg. They want to know the number of hours that I sat in the classroom and the credit, and that's what they are going to base their evaluation on. So if I meet the credit hours in America, then of course they will let me write. And mind you, psychiatry, they do not understand our course, because to be able to be a psychiatric nurse in the United States, you have to have your BSN first before you enroll. But in our case, because we use the British education system, we can do it straight away and there's no problem with that. But this is America and things are done differently. So when you come in and you say, I was trained as a mental health nurse, they think and it's a diploma, like equivalent to associate degree. What are you saying? It's not sinking in.
Mm-hmm.
So this person told me that we need to pay attention to the academic breakdown. So it was not anything like a connection. It wasn't anything like forging any documentation. No, it's exactly your school needs to give you the exact credit hours that you sat in the classroom. They need to send that, and they need to do it in such a way that it's understandable, it's open, so the evaluation board can understand. So she introduced me to ERES, Education Record Evaluation Services. Yes. So she introduced me to that and I registered. Initially, my journey was so long. Initially, they didn't mind if you don't have certificate from your country, but now they do. So when I was doing this whole thing, and in my mind, I thought the problem was coming from NMC.
Okay.
So I said, okay, then I need to get away with NMC. So I told them, I do not have a license. But later on, they changed the requirements.
Assessment tool requirements.
Yes. Yeah, the requirements. So I needed a license. And I told them I do have a license. I didn't really know, the difference between our PIN and your license. So they made me send over a PIN, a copy of my PIN and my certificate. And they evaluated it for me. And I wrote the NCLEX, and first time I passed. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the journey.
So just to chip in here, you used California. I know for a fact that California you apply directly to them and they do their own credential evaluation, correct?
Right.
And how the report came back and they said it was still not comparable to the American education system.
Right.
Okay. So which year, casting your mind back, how many years ago did you start the ERES journey? Was it 6 years ago after you came, 5? So
I started a journey, I would say immediately.
Found out.
I started like 2013, 2014. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I started the journey.
Okay. So you mentioned that you told them you didn't have a license. Did you? So you went back again to tell them you have a license?
Yes.
Okay.
My ERES, I do think, I don't know, but their services are so cool. Yes. They are very understanding. Like they work with you.
Okay.
I was able to email my evaluator and I told her, this is my situation. I have a license. Yeah. But it's in my country, it's called a PIN. Mm-hmm. In Ghana, we call it PIN.
Yeah.
and it has my photo on it. And she said, okay, send me a copy of that. And I sent a copy of that through the email, and she evaluated my stuff, and it was so quick.
Okay. So let me say to those watching us, I say this in every single video since I came to realize this. If you did any specialty in Ghana, if you're a midwife, psychiatric, a community health, whatever nurse, use ERES. If you
Yes.
go to CGFNS, they're going to say it's not comparable. Use ERES. ERES is $480, $480. CGFNS is $390, but they will still tell you you're not comparable. Your money is a waste.
Yeah, and you have to start the process all over again, which is a lot of money, because you pay the $390 and then you come back and you have to pay like the $480, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So I don't know, this is a while back. I don't know if you still remember how long it took you to get your evaluation, but if you don't remember, that's okay. So what was the next step after ERES gave you the go ahead? Which board of nursing, which states did you use to register with?
So when you're filling your forms at ERES, there's a portion that will ask which state you want to write your NCLEX with.
Okay.
Yes, and I chose Arizona. I chose Arizona because it's my dream state. I'm moving there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does your husband know that? Is he on board with that?
Yeah. So I chose Arizona, and then once the evaluation was done, they sent me a copy to my email, and they told me you can go ahead and register with the board that you want to write with, which I did. And within, was it 2 weeks, everything was ready. Yeah.
Wow. So you are a mental nurse. You had a diploma in mental nursing in Ghana. I know there are two types of NCLEX for registered nurse and NCLEX for LPN, licensed practical nurse. So what type of NCLEX did you take and why?
I took NCLEX for registered nurse RN.
Okay, good. So I believe you took it one time and you passed.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. And
Thank
after
you
got the PIN, what next did you do? Where are you working? As a psych nurse, where are you working? Are you in a med-surg, orthopedic, neuro, or behavioral sciences?
Okay, so currently, when I got my license, America and Ghana, there's a vast difference.
It's a vast difference. I'm going to come to that.
So when I had my license, because I had not practiced for a while, it was 5 years and I had not practiced. The state of Arizona required me to do a refresher course. Yes. Okay. And I did a refresher course. The refresher course, it took me about 6 months, I want to say. Wow. Yes. And then I did 180 clinical credit hours.
Wow.
But it's worth it, because listen, if you are in Ghana and you work in Ghana, there are so many things that we are not familiar with. Like some of the equipment that they use, and we do not, even if we do, we improvise. We do everything that they do. The skill side, my dear, when you get on the field and once you get familiar with the equipment, you are good. You know what I mean, because you are on the field. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I needed that because I had been at home for 5 years and I was brain dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the states make you do a refresher course. Minnesota made a friend do a refresher course. Texas made a friend do a refresher course. So I know why they made you do that. So I think jumped a bit. Let's go back. You got your license and this is some years back. Walk me through all the various places you've worked. The first job you got, where did you work? What kind of floor? Then move around. And also, you keep mentioning Arizona, but I know that you live in Virginia. So that means that somebody can choose a state even though they don't live there. So do you have to transfer your license to Virginia? Please do that as well. Questions?
Yeah, so you don't have to transfer. I think what you need to do is to look for compact states. Okay, you need to look for the states that are in compact. Yes. And Virginia and Arizona, Maryland, and other states are compact. Yeah. So when I got my license and after doing my refresher course, my school just sent the state of Arizona a letter that she's done with the refresher course. And right then they gave me, they issued my license. And it was online. So I just checked and I said, oh God, I have my license. So I just,
American nurse.
yeah, here I come. So I went online. I started looking for jobs, and I really wanted to get something that was related to, what I had done already.
Okay.
But then I figured I need to, I need to open up my wings a little bit and get experience everywhere. So I started with long-term care.
Okay.
I mean, in America, we call it nursing homes. I started with a long-term care, and I worked at every floor. And I was so fortunate that the facility that I started working with, they had a psychiatric unit. So it has a unit, that has they deal with dementia and all those Alzheimer's and all that, the aged, depressions and stuff. So it was coming back home. And then they also had another floor that was acute. So all registered nurses, we were mandated to work on the acute floor. Because if you don't work on the acute floor, it feels like you were losing your skill. So I worked night shift, but I was floating everywhere. And then later on, I came to the acute floor, and that was where I was at. Currently, I am working at UVN Campus Health Hospital. It's in Charlottesville. They do a lot of rehabilitation. We do stroke. We do quads. We deal with ORIFs, people that have had hip surgeries and they are, in the process of recovering to be independent. And I mean, transplants, we deal with those that have transplants, and it's a very cool place. And it's a hospital, so you know what I mean? They have everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like I needed to take another step and kind of learn other stuff too. Because if I didn't want to narrow myself, if I do my master's right now and I get the opportunity to practice as a psychiatric, mental health nurse, I would not depend on other practitioners to treat my patient. So if they come in with physical conditions, I should be able to deal with it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you have come.
And let me chip this in. If you are going back to school, it's not a big deal because I have my BSN, and it's you just take your stuff from Ghana. It's not, you just need your RN license, get your transcript, send it to your school, they will evaluate it, and that's it, you are done.
So you went through a lot before you finally got your license in the US. And there's a big information gap. Then we don't know where to start from as foreigners, and we are all stranded. Somebody reached out to me. She's been here 7 years, and she didn't know she could do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And she went to CGFNS, and she went through the same issue because she's a midwife. They said it was not comparable, and until she found me 2 years after she was denied by CGFNS. So that's a lot of years she has spent, and she's now with ERES, and everything is moving fast. And
oh my gosh, they are just good.
They are so good. I don't know why we don't know about them. Like CGFNS is the biggest, so we hear of CGFNS and we all go there. But if you did a little specialty diploma, whatever, check it. And they have something called pre-evaluation.
Okay.
Yes, so you pay $50. They'll pre-eval your documents and tell you it's good. Then you now pay the real $480.
This is so good.
Yes. You do pre-eval. If you tell I did community, I'm not sure. I did something in 2 months. I'm not. Just pay $50. They'll do pre-eval for you. These are little things my consult does. So I'm giving our trade secret out.
I think you're doing an amazing job. And I wish I had stumbled on, a channel like yours when I first got here, because that could have been so helpful.
Yes.
I'm the type that I have a sister friend, Vida. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. I kept pushing her. I said, we can do this. Let's do it together. She said, you go through when you're successful, I'll follow your footsteps. And I said, okay, I'll get it done, by God's grace. And I got it done. It's very helpful that you're doing this, because sometimes a lot of people, I have friends that are here and they've given up.
Yes.
It's, you can go back to school. School, it's okay. You can choose to go back to school, but there is a way. there is a way to get your staff evaluated
Yes.
and challenge the NCLEX and get your license.
Yeah. It's a
You don't have to go through school and spend all those time waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, when people ask me, it was funny because at the point people thought I wasn't even a nurse and I was making it up. Yeah, because
that is my story.
How come you are a nurse and you are stranded? Like, what's going on? But I do believe that it's God's time. He has time for everything, and He knows what's best for us. And when His time comes, nothing stops it.
Yeah, people doubted me too. When I came in, I was working as a CNA trying to figure it out, and they kept asking me, Priscilla, you said you're a nurse. You said you're a nurse. 1 month, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year and a half, 2 years. So they were like, she's not a nurse.
Oh my gosh. Why would you make up such a thing?
Yeah, because you're a nurse in 2 years and you enjoy working as a CNA when we claim you're a nurse. So I don't blame them. They don't know that when you're a foreign educated person, you go through a hell lot. My paperwork got missing in transit from CGFNS to University of Ghana, where I had my education. My paperwork got missing, so I had to restart. It took me 2 years and I didn't know where to start from. There was no content like this online. So I'm doing this to help save lives.
I think you are. I believe you are, because this is a life-saving channel.
Yeah.
To all nurses that want to practice in America, and if you've ever practiced in Ghana and you find yourself here, like you and I, my spouse got me here. I had to. We got married and I was in Ghana, he was here, so we decided to live together and start a family. And now, before I got married, I had my career and I wanted to work on my career, even though I wanted to make the babies, but I didn't want to give up on my career, So when I got here, I was like, there has to be a way. I really need to get this done, and it worked. And I wish I had stumbled, like I said earlier, I wish I had stumbled on your channel, because a lot of people are frustrated and they've given up. You don't have to give up. That's not the style of mental health nurses. We are driven and we get it done.
And do you know that the good news, the best part of everything, do you know that you could have started the process way back in Ghana before you boarded the flight?
My dear, when I found out, don't go there.
I didn't know
I don't want to talk about that because that would give me nightmares.
I didn't know I could have started, because everything I'm showing people how to do, they are in Africa, they are in Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and they are doing it. So we could have started this as soon as we go and our visa. All we have to do is enter America, go to NCLEX Center and take NCLEX. We did not know. So we came in here working as CNA for years before finally getting it. So that takes me back to my question. In those 4 or 5 years you used to figure out the process, what were you doing before getting your nursing license? What jobs were you doing?
Yeah, so with the 4 years that I was waiting, I had a job. I didn't do the CNA.
Okay.
I had a job at a mental health facility called, it's a group home.
Oh.
Yeah. So I told them, I went for the interview. I just filled my stuff in. I went for the interview. I told them I'm a mental health nurse. This is what I've done. And of course, my husband told me, bring your certificate. So I went with my certificate. And I went with, all the documents that I had with all the trainings there, that what Ghana registered GRNA facilitated and all that. I had everything. So I kind of got them together and I took it to them and I said, this is what I have. So they just told me, okay, you want the job, you got it. And I started working there. So I was working there, and it's one of the jobs that is very laid back. So I was able to push through stuff, learn, and still make money. It wasn't as, working in the hospital, I know how it is. It's a bit rough. Yeah, this is laid back. You deal with individuals with intellectual disabilities and mental health conditions and all that, kids and grown-ups, Alzheimer's and all that. So I was doing what I was literally doing in Ghana, just that I was not licensed to practice as a nurse.
So you were still in the health field.
I was in the health field, yes.
Yeah. So myself, the best thing that happened to me, despite I hated the job, The best thing that happened to me was me deciding to be a CNA in the hospital on a med surg floor. And all my life, all my career, almost 12 years, I've been in a medical surgical floor from Ghana all the way to the US. So I saw the things. I wasn't licensed, so I could do them. I could follow them and watch them. All
Right.
the gadgets, when the nurses are pressing it, I'm doing it. And I had this
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican nurse that was like, Priscilla, come. So when you go to a room where the patients cannot, it's a very laid back patient who doesn't care. The patient, we just close the door. Then she shows me, this is what you press when you become a nurse. Okay, this is what you do this. So she was very
Oh, that is so
nice.
nice of that person. Bless
Yes,
her heart.
yes, she really helped me. She was like, this is what you do. So when I finally got my license and I stepped in the floor as an RN, all those
You
gadgets,
knew,
all
yeah,
lifts and Harvard lifts and maximal and all those gadgets, I knew how to operate them. So I just had to learn the job description as a nurse now.
right.
Yes. So how has life been in America? It's over what, 10 years? Way more than that? 9? How has life been? And when was the
So
last time you were in
let me
Ghana?
just say that
Mhm.
once you, I mean, you come from Ghana and you get everything together and you start practicing, you know, there's definitely going to be hitches,
Yeah,
you know, because America,
it's
the
different.
nursing practice, it's very different from what we practice in Ghana.
Yeah.
You know, the laws are different. Patient right is very strong.
Mhm.
The patient has the right to refuse medication, do
Yeah.
what they want to do because that is their body,
Mhm.
you know. And it's not like Ghana where doctors will have to dictate to you, the nurse, what you have to do. You need to use your clinical judgment, you know. It will take a while, and I don't want my fellow sisters or brothers watching think that, oh my God, it's going to be frustrating when I start practicing. It's going to be rough, but I bet you once you get your foot down, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything. Life in America, I mean, I can't complain, my dear. God has been so good.
Mhm.
You know, with the licensing issue and everything, once it's
It's all.
sorted out, you are good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like Ghana where you have to wait for years before you can further your education. Once you have your RN and you think, oh, I want to do my BSN, I want to go back and do my master's, my MSN, and my doctorate. The way is on your front. That's what I say to my
Yeah.
husband. You know,
Yeah.
you can just do it.
Mhm.
You know, so it's life. I can't complain. It's been good,
Okay.
and you can do now nursing. It's you can sit at home and be a nurse. There are jobs with insurance companies where you can be case managers. It can be a case manager, and you know you work from home. You don't necessarily have to go to a facility. You know, and it's you learn because of COVID. People are working from home. It's good,
Yeah.
you know, and you can also choose to go to the hospital. Nurses are being paid well. Nurses are being taken care of. We now decide how we want institutions to treat us.
Yeah.
You know, they no longer toss us around like they used to anymore.
Mhm.
Even though there are prosecutions, I mean, I do think people are also mounting up their defense as to how they deal with like those situations. Overriding medications, if you're not comfortable, do not do it.
All
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
and you can just say, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not sure anybody's going to be mad if you say that. Because at the end of the day, it's your license that is in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I have learned a lot from you. Any advice you have to somebody watching this and wanting to come work in America? What do you want to tell them? Fellow Ghanaians, anybody you can speak to if you want to.
Yeah. Miniamo Ghana for Miniamo. I think for the sake of our brothers and sisters from other part of Africa, we can speak English and we can speak Tree as well. We will just I'll translate it once I'm done. So if you want to come to America and practice, you don't have to be scared or anything. You don't have to hesitate that it's not going to go well. Probably you don't have the right information. Now, once you get the right information and once you get the right person, my dear, the way is on your front. Like the sky is your limit. You can do anything, you know, with your license.
Mhm.
My country, I can say that we are part of the international nursing community. So when I travel to America, I don't have to go back to school. All I have to do is to prove that I have the credentials to take the NCLEX. And once I prove that by taking getting my stuff from Ghana, I can do it. you know. Binu amo Ghana for a more share antidepressant. So we Ghana ni now pesa oba America be practice ya ehu bia anim. So ye Ghana ni now pesa oba America now pesa obutua wadwuma so as a nurse. Obi betimi aka kire say go school back. So what you still be school back, and that is your choice. I mean, we can tell you not to do it. But then so what say otua nyena wo ye wo Ghana so na time na be de ko spend wo school no would be ye adwuma no wetimi ato aso akọ anima. I think this channel is good for you because one ebe kire baby a obefa, two ebe kire oni esese wo ye, and I do believe antidepressant la obetimi drop it down resources for NCLEX and all that for people. Oba it's enye dendende. The only difference is that America advanced in nursing. But the nursing in Ghana is the same nursing. They NCLEX questions, basically, or clinical judgment. It's not anything different. They're not going to ask you about ventilator or anything. They will ask you about what you need to do for your nurse if your patient is on a ventilator. They are not going to ask because you're not a respiratory therapist.
Yeah.
And don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Just make up your mind and say you do it.
Yeah.
Antidepressant our hands there. It's possible. Maybe wow. No so wow. Not near OPB.
Thank you very much. I liked one thing you said. When you're on this journey, you need to find a companion and discuss with somebody. If you're doing it alone, you go and do the wrong thing. And
oh my gosh, that's true.
We can't be secretive. We are very conservative. We don't want to let anybody know our plans. But somebody will have an information that you might need.
Yep.
But because you haven't spoken to the person, they don't know you need that information. Anytime I interview somebody on my channel, I learn something new every single time. So I'm going to speak a word to my fellow Voltarians. I would see if I can still speak my Yoruba to the point to my fellow Nigerians because I had my childhood in Nigeria for about 10 years. So I still speak Yoruba. Sometimes a little bit jerky, but I'll see if I can chip that in. So let me start with the Ewe. My people watching from Togo, Benin, Ghana, and a portion of Nigeria who speak Ewe. Mado bebenemi asesia. Nemi de mi ava America me ba wo dollar America. Ele possible atema wo dollar America. Ne we nyafi ne wa jegometo wa. De be na yi online akpon kekebe de awo amole wo. Enye paplanti ke mi we mi le dollar America. Ta o cha aten wo dollar America. No me nyafi na jegometo yom do email them le USRN Pathway Consult. Na biam question ma don't know. Ma pay me ba wo dollar America. Okay, so that is the Ewe part. And when you meet one in Nigeria, or community Priscilla, one in New York State, RNME, Teba Fresh Shisheni America, LSA, Moko Encles, Monshisheni America, Auntie Neko Encles, Shisheni America. Encles LSA, Bubuwa Atishe LSA. So, my video a good video for rain. You combine work with family. I believe you have kids. How many kids do you have? How do you manage it? What shifts do you work? Nights? And how do you juggle it with your husband and your household? How do you do all that? Childcare is a big problem in America.
Yeah. Childcare is a big deal. I bet your salary, like it will take everything that you work for. So what I do is I work night shift. My husband works during the day. So, and the kids I have 3 kids. I have 1 6-year-old, I have a 3-year-old, and a barely 2-year-old. So my daughter will turn 4, so let's say she's 4 now. So what I do is I work in the night and I get home at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it's 7 to 7, so it's 3 days. And then my husband works during the day. He makes sure that he gets home early because he knows I'll be getting rest, but I will not have the rest that I need because of the kids. Because we figure that we can pay for childcare. There are times that the demand is so huge, you can just turn a blind eye. You take the kids to childcare. And a sister of mine, Vida, has been so helpful. She helped with the kids, even though she's not in state. I mean, we drive and we take the kids there sometimes, yeah. But yeah, she's very helpful. So I work in the night, he works in the day, he comes, he makes sure he does everything as fast as he can, get home, get the kids. So I'm able to kind of, top my sleep up. I may get an hour or 2 during the day. And then when he gets home, I'll sleep and then go to work, and then he will have the kids in the night. So it's you have to work together. You need to team up and make it work. One person cannot do it. If you want to have a career and be the wife and be the mom, that's a huge thing. So you need to find, you and your husband or you and your partner need to find a common ground and see what's going to help. My husband's job, he cannot work in the night, but I can work in the night. So I chose the night shift. He works during the day, and there are times that his off days, when I get home, he'll tell me go to sleep. So I just come upstairs and sleep, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, before I forget, I need to give a big shout out to Vida, because she linked me to you, and she spoke highly of you, and you keep referring to her and referring to her. So I think you have a great friendship, and it's very admirable. Thank you very much. I enjoyed chatting with you. If you all enjoyed watching my friend Linda here, you wanted to come back on the channel, just let us know what you want us to discuss. I know childcare has been the fear of many people back home.
Yep.
Or if you come to America, we hear it's expensive, but people are doing it. You find the balance, you find a way to make it work. Any last words before we end this section? It's been so nice having you. Any words, any advice to anybody at all?
I think we said it all.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is,
it's possible.
You have to believe in God and believe in yourself, that you can do it. Those of us that were able to do it, we are not different. Of course, I may be different because, the two of us speaking, you can see I'm a dark-skinned person. You are not. You are a bit lighter than I am. And you just have to have the zeal that you're going to do it, and you can do it. If somebody else did it, you can do it. Sometimes it takes years. Our experiences are never the same. Yours took 2 years. Mine took 4 years. Others 1 year, others 6 months. But guess what? We all hold the same license when we graduate.
Yeah.
After taking the NCLEX. So the most important thing is to put your mind to it that you're going to do it. And I know you can do it.
Okay. I keep saying we sign off, but I just had a question in mind. Can a mental health nurse who schooled outside the U.S. work in the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have colleagues who are also working in the U.S. who schooled outside the U.S., schooled in Ghana, and they are working here as mental health nurses?
Yes. I have colleagues who are mental health nurses, and I have colleagues who are midwives.
Okay. Some of your colleagues that are mental health nurses, which kind of floor or unit of facility are they working? Are they working in message auto, or are they working in behavioral sciences as well?
They are not. Some of them are, others are not. Some, it depends on what you want to do. Like I said, I was doing it all until I decided not to. Even where I'm at right now, I still have some patient with behavioral issues that I take care of. It puts me at an advantage because I have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So when there's something going on, I catch it. And I know this is not the person. It's something beyond the person that's causing that. I have friends that are doing acute nursing, acute care, because once you evaluate your staff and you take the NCLEX, you are a registered nurse. You are not a mental health nurse anymore. Until you go back to school and do your MSN in mental health nursing, you are a registered nurse just like any other nurse.
Yes.
So you choose where you want to work. And in America, wherever you want to work, you are trained. You'll be given the training on the floor that you want to work. And you take it from there.
They ask me a lot about how much do you earn? So me a starting point or a range, a 5 gap range, like $10 to $15, like a range of how much you started off when it was.
I think it depends on the state.
I keep telling them, like, it depends on the state, the cost of living, where you're this, but they want the figures. They don't get it.
Yeah, it depends on the state. And I know, I haven't worked at New York before, but I know New York pays very well. Yeah.
It depends on where you live. I live in New York, but I'm not paid well at all. So that goes to buttress the points that depends on where you live. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on where you live, and it depends on your bargaining power, how you bargain. You should have that, those vibes to bargain.
Yeah.
And when you are bargaining, you use your experience in Ghana because you were a nurse. You use that to bargain as well. So I was a nurse in Ghana. I practiced for almost 6 years. I'm in America. I'm practicing. So I'm going to add whatever years that I practiced in Ghana. and then whilst I wasn't even practicing as a nurse, it was also in the health field. You use that as well. So you use all these things to kind of, light up what you're going to get, because you can't be paid as a fresh nurse coming from school.
That's very true. When I finally got my license, I applied to 2 places. One place said we'll start you as a new grad, RN1. The other one said no, study as RN2 because experience is experience. So I went study me as RN2. So you need to be able to bargain and speak up and see. And now COVID has helped nurses. We're able to bargain and we are vocal about how much it is. Have options. If this one doesn't treat you right, you can pick your bag and go. You
can pick your bag. You can pick your bag. And now travel nurses are making
I wish I could do that. Much. Let's end this interview and go and chit chat back door. It's been very, very nice having you. I'll definitely bring you back because they'll be demanding for you. So it's like a conversation and it's so nice having you. Thank you very much for making your time. I know you just got off night shift. You need to go catch some sleep. And so guys, thank you very much. This is Linda and I am Priscilla, registered nurse. We are all from Ghana, schooled in Ghana. We are working here. I'm a registered nurse. She's a mental health nurse or psychiatric nurse, and it's possible and you can do it. And she said she has friends that are midwives. So watch out for a midwife coming onto my channel. Bye-bye and take care.